So what are some of the critical factors that industry business leaders face today?
Well, I think there are many things. First of all, I think more than ever we live in a so-called VUCA world. There is a lot of volatility. Things are changing a lot. There is a lot of ambiguity. There is a lot of complexity. And business leaders, and especially in the industrial sector, need to permanently navigate changing landscapes. Then there is a second dimension I want to mention, which is technology acceleration. And you may have heard, John, about the different stages in industrial revolutions. So first industrial revolution was all about bringing force so that now we can process steel and we can create and produce enough energy to do heavy steel work, like producing rails for a railway industry, which was in the making, or industrial machinery. Yeah. The second industrial revolution, and every revolution was a big leap forward, which the world after is not the same as the world before. The second industrial revolution was about electrification. So electricity coming into the factories, the cities, a real game changer. Yeah. With that, again, you can have better machines, you can have power at any time, easier access to power. And this, again, was a big leap forward until automation and computers arrived. So with automation, you may picture car factories where you see the robots welding the car bodies or doing complex tasks, where this was a big jump in productivity, but also computers. I can remember in my very early years, at times not everything was digitized, even in a state-of-the-art, very mature and very advanced companies. But we still had some index cards in our inventory boxes where you would write a number, and somebody, a material planner, would come and say how many we have left of that, and you would trade those informations. Nowadays, unthinkable. Yeah. But think about bill of materials of a modern automobile, or designing a car without computer-aided design, CAD systems, yeah, running a factory without an ERP system. So the computers and the increase of computer power and all those information systems have allowed to have more and more complex operations, network of factories across the globe. I'm thinking of big consumer product manufacturers or food and beverage manufacturers. They have often a network of 100 factories. How do you want to run that efficiently without the automation and the computerization? So companies which at some point decided to, we won't invest in automation or we won't invest in computers, are probably not around anymore. Yeah? And now we are entering the age of Industry 4.0, where it's all about next stage. It's big data, it's cloud, it's IoT, it's cybersecurity, it's virtual reality, it's artificial intelligence, it's cyber physical systems. So a lot of new things, and I think at times it can be a little bit overwhelming, especially with the stream of news every day. Now it's this, now is it ChatGPT, DeepSeek, and you name it. Technology acceleration is in the news every day. So navigating that, not just for the sake of navigating it or by intellectual curiosity, but to remain competitive. So if you look at industry over 100 years, everything what was invented, and the first management consulting firms go back to early 1900s when Ford was industrially industrializing the Ford T, and Taylor and Ford were doing some experiment on industrial engineering and how to organize factories to produce more, and improve quality. And so management consulting firms like Arthur D. Little and McKinsey were born soon after. And everything what was invented in terms of management tools, management systems between early 1900s and now, they always had two aims. One is reducing lead times, means increasing time to market with innovations or production. Like if you have your product in the market, when somebody wants to buy it, you're in a good position. And if quality and cost are competitive. So reducing time was always a dimension, and the other dimension was reducing costs. Because there is a race of companies competing for the same market. Automobile production, everybody wants to sell John an automobile. But John will make decisions like, where do I get the best performance and the best value for the most reasonable price? So if some companies are innovating faster than others, eventually you will buy their company, and we all do the same. And in B2B, it's exactly the same. People, when they buy machines today, they want a state-of-the-art machine. Nobody buys a computer which was state-of-the-art 5 years ago. When we buy a new computer, we want to buy the very latest. Same with a car, same with a machine, same with a fryer, same with whatever we buy, an airplane or an aircraft engine. We don't buy old generation unless it's for replacement. So there is a strong pace and a race for innovation, and companies need to stay ahead to not fall behind. So it's a little bit like in athletic sports. You have to train really hard to remain among the top three. And if you are not in the top three, you can very quickly disappear completely from the map.